Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. Got a box with a brand new watch in it. We've been away for a little while, kind of recuperating from the holidays. So we're starting in, got a bunch of new watches to take a look at. Kicking it off with a watch from, how do you say it? Come on. LUCAKUINS? You think so? Oh, I hope so. The LUCAKUINS are bringing us a T30. Now, if this looks like a familiar kind of listing, it's probably because you serve Amazon. Yep, these are one of the few companies that is actually on Amazon.com and is offering the T30 to you through that resource, which means if you're a Prime member, you got the shipping thing going for you, free shipping, all that good stuff. Even if you're not Prime, I think over $25, right? You get free shipping. Little bitty print here, which, thanks to my handy printer, I've blown up for you so we can read it together. Not a whole lot in specs on this watch, though, so we're going to have to inspect the watch. It's a 32.5 millimeter GPS Bluetooth smartwatch. The features I like about this and why I thought you guys might be interested. In addition to it being your classic kind of a watch that'll do some fitness stuff and some health stuff and has some pretty dials on it, it does Bluetooth calling, and it's got built-in music players so it can play music from your phone, music that you install on the watch, and set it up with TWS, True Wireless Stereo earbuds. Go out and do your thing playing music from your watch to your earbuds without your phone. All of that's capable in an IP67 waterproof watch. Full circle touch screen. You're going to see it here in a second. So, it supports the making and finding phone calls, receiving messages, recording exercise function. It's got remote camera, sleep monitor, sedentary monitor, all of that. Music, recorder, alarm clock, and so on. And it's a fashionable watch, light and comfortable. And it's got the Find Your Watch feature. So if you strap it around your dog and you wonder where your dog is, you should be able to wake it up from, of course your dog's going to want to listen to music. IP67 sports mode. They even say it's good for washing hands and swimming. I'm always a little goosey about IP67 and swimming or dunking it underwater though. So, just be careful when you do. Make sure you don't have water intrusion and dry it out if you do. Long life battery, it says, but nothing other than it's several days without worrying about running out of power. We'll have to see that eventually, how long it actually lasts. And they're promising that the products they're selling is authentic, which is why it's doing it through Amazon, because Amazon's not putting up anymore with products that aren't authentic. As you've seen, a lot of returns, a lot of issues, a lot of problems. So just to get a store on Amazon is a major accomplishment. And these guys are doing it, and that's how they're selling it. We got 260 milliamp hour battery. The manufacturer is Bolo D. And again, the company is LUCAKUINS. Oh, I'm butchering that. Let's look at the watch. I'm much better with watches than with foreign languages. We've got a really nice brown leather and rubberized band. So they didn't skimp on the bands. Quick disconnect. You're not going to sweat too badly here, and if you do, you've got places for the air to get in and out, and it's got the nice leather look to it in brown. And once we get the watch module out, I'm going to show you something else. Here's the module itself. It's got a really nice flat surface bezel that I think is pretty attractive. It's got some little dots and things on it, not too bold. It's got a subdued, can you see that in there? Little markings around every 5-minute marks and such. It's got, a really nice brushed metal side. 2 buttons on the back. This is how they should do this, you know. When they make a cover that exactly matches the plastic item it's covering, like this diode area, and you don't even see it, or worse yet, a camera, and you don't peel it off. It just But it's good to see that, yeah, they had that covered. You've got the charging port here. That looks like a microphone and speaker right there. And it does look pretty darn waterproof overall. Very impressive. In the box, we have another band set, this time in black. So you've got your choice, again, rubberized, of the brown or black. It's coming with both. Stitched appearance of the leather. And, of course, a charger wire, which is our standard 4-pin. And it is 4 pins so that you can transfer music to the watch. Attaches, pretty good and strong. Yep, simple, plug in the USB. Now we get into the manual, we get into some interesting stuff. This is one that's in some different languages here, and this one is in English, and then they've even got a quality control little thing that they throw in the box too. Yeah, music call watch guide. Okay, Thanksgiving. That's right. The years meet you like a song. Thank you for choosing this music call watch. For your convenience, please read it and follow the instructions. You got 2 things going on when you set up a watch like this. You have the standard watch tethering to your phone for connection to an app, and this uses the DreeFit app. It's through the app that you'll be able to get all your data transferred over from walking or running or heart rate or blood oxygen, all of that stuff. You bind it to the phone using the app and get it all connected, and then you're good to go. Then the other way, the other thing you got to do, that's a one way of Bluetooth connecting for the app information. But for music and to work with the phone as a music player, you need to pair it like you would regular earbuds. And this goes on to talk about how you do all of that stuff. You're going to look for T3031_audio should show earphones on your mobile phone, and that's where you'll pair the watch to your phone secondarily so that you get the Bluetooth audio aspect of it. A lot of people get confused about that. They're really 2 completely separate but simultaneous pairings of the watch to your phone. Then you got the power button, a music shortcuts button, specialized. This thing is really made for music. Long press will get you into the different dials. You can go through these main screens by sliding. Shows you a little bit more. When you slide over this way, you're going to get your app drawer with all of the apps. We'll look at those. Swipe up to enter the main functions. Here's where you're going to get your heart rate and blood pressure and blood oxygen and the multi-sports and all of that. And then this button here gets you into play the music on your phone or the music on your watch, and or the current music can be connected to the TWS headset. You'll see those change down here at the bottom. So for those that have really been looking for a watch to do music, that's your thing, maybe telling the time and going out and listening to your tunes. And sure, catch your step count or a light workout, whatever. This is a watch that could do that for you. Some FAQs about the watch. Why doesn't it do this? Why doesn't it do that? And then we're off to a different language. You ready to play? Let's put it together. This is definitely using some high-end components. The band is great. Wow, that came up like lickety-split. Wow. Okay. Ooh. Oh, wow, okay. Music player. I need to charge it. I just threw it on. I wanted to see what it does. Okay, we've got brightness. Okay, nice. There's full brightness. Doesn't loop. Let's take it down. Minimal brightness. What looks good? So this is a lot of stuff I do behind the scenes. I try to make sure that you can see like the check mark and the... So we only need it on brightness of 2. That'll work for us. Brightness, reset, the QR code. This is what you're going to scan to download the app, or just check in the show notes because I always have a link directly over to the app. But you can actually scan a QR code on your YouTube screen if you want to. I didn't know if you knew that. Reset QR code wallpaper. Oh, look at this. We can have different backgrounds. Oh, bubbles. Rain. And of course, just plain black. I'm going to keep that for simplicity. The display. Oh, how long it goes before it times out. Wow, nice. It was down at 5 seconds. But you know, Uncle Tix just talks and talks. So I like to set it to maximum, 30 seconds. Of course, that'll use up more power, but you'll have much more access to the device as well. Here's our information. And that's the about. The overall time. You can set the time here, or when we tether it to the phone, it should set automatically. You can set alarms in here, and you can change your languages. We're on English now, but you have access to a few different languages. That's pretty good. All right, and it's looping again, so we're going to stick with English. A timer. The time's up in hundredths of a second. No lap time. But you can basically leave it like that, and it resets automatically when you leave it. Sedentary reminder for drinking water, for getting up. Here's the drinking water one. Exercising and drinking water. And you know, those are just loop timers that you set for whatever duration you want. Here's the overall theme. And now this is where we can change different watch faces. All right, how do I do that? We accepted it. Oh, there's the call. Cool. Here's your step count stuff. Last night's sleep time. Ooh, we're going to have a chart of your heart rate. Nice. Blood pressure. Blood oxygen. Okay. And then a sports section where you can do cycling, running, walking, or rope jumping, or a variety of other sports that you have to figure out by the icons. And I presume you go into it, and it's going to calculate your step count if that's appropriate. It isn't for cycling, so you're basically going to get time, calories burned, and your heart rate. Basic stuff. It's not an elaborate fitness watch. It's kind of in there if you want to catch that. But yeah, running and walking should give you also step count based on the pedometer being in it as well. And of course you can leave out of that too. That's your sports. And then we're back to the time. This way is where we went into our app drawer, which has all of those things. And this way went into our notifications pushed from the watch. From here, I'm pretty sure what we would do is press and hold and swipe. And there we go. There's a different watch face. Digital with a whale, it looks like. What else have we got? Another nice round digital watch. Here's one with a little squirrely road going in it to your step count on here. Press and hold starts back over again. We've got another one with calories burned, distance traveled, date and time on it. And a few more, I'm sure. Let's see. This one here, we're back again. So what, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And you choose whichever one you want, and you've got it. All right, we got to hook it up. So the first thing we got to do is get the app. The app is called DreeFit, and I've got it already in here. We're going to open it. It asks you to read and agree to a software protocol policy, and then it comes right in here that tells you detailed recording of motion data, multiple detection of health data, training data can be set for a long time, immediate inspection is how you get into it. We got to go through and allow 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 all of those different things, and finally you're on the home page with your basic health information and fitness stuff. You got to go to the device and bound the device, the T3031. Are you sure we want to do this? And we do, and now we're connected to this. You saw how fast that went. I'm only at 17% battery, so I definitely have to charge it. And now, a tip, enter the phone system settings and search for this to Bluetooth connect it to your audio. That's that second half. So I'm going to be doing that right now. there we are, the T3031 audio, which right now I have set for phone calls and media audio, but I didn't set up my contact sharing, but I could. And if I did, then that would have all that connectivity with all of my contacts as well. So let's cover a bunch of the things that you can do related to the watch. First of all, you can find the device, press that button, and it vibrates, lets you know that you've got the watch on. That's good. You've got the shutter for doing remote photography, where you trigger it from the watch. Notifications, this is where you set that up so you can push to your watch all the notifications you want to from your phone and not the ones you don't want to, right? You got alarm clocks, sedentary reminders in here. You've got overall sleep monitoring and do not disturb, of course, which is where you can set up intervals that it won't do any of that interruption type of stuff. The twist your wrist to see the screen, you can turn that on or off. And here's a fun one, dial selection. You saw the few dials that we've got, and the one that we had on it right now, the picture's gone, that whale, but that was the custom one. And of course, we have a couple of default ones, and then it says discover more faces, and you get a bit of a selection of some additional faces that you could install, and you just pick one, and are you sure you want to use it? You say OK. Picture transfer takes about 1 to 3 minutes, says it's upgrading, so it's adding that one to the watch, and this is what it looks like. So going to switch to it? There it goes. All right, so that's that particular face now on the watch. A couple of other things. We didn't finish all this. We had the brightness. This is the do not disturb. You can instantly turn it on or off here if you want to. And that switch, well, that looks like, is that the headphones? I'm not sure, but you got an extra switch there if you want. We'll have to check the manual. Up above, you see it's tethered to the phone, or Bluetooth. There's your phone connection, and then here's your headphone connection if you have earbuds that are also tethered to the watch. And I think that's pretty much everything here. Back here, we did the custom dials. You have your frequent contacts, I guess, for making calls. You can upgrade. This is where you would check to see if you have the latest firmware. Be sure to do that. And, of course, factory data reset. And you could delete the device. Over in this one, you can set up your own profile with pictures and your specific information. You can change to pounds if you want to, and feet for setting all of this up. And that'll go into consideration when it's calculating your calories burned for your exercising. Device, and then home. This is where you got your step count information, which we just barely got started. Heart rate, blood oxygen, blood pressure, and last night's sleep time. Come in here, and remotely I can measure it without having to even wake up the watch to do it. Now I want to make sure I've got it back up here where it belongs, above that little bump, and relatively tight, but not too terribly tight. All right, it's going to actually switch to it here as it calculates the heart rate. And there we go, 75, 76. It's showing your high and your low and your current, and it's also showing it right here on the watch as well, or on the phone, which is pretty cool that you can get both of those. All right, it vibrated, so it's done, and it's recorded that measurement. We also have blood oxygen, and we can measure it. And again, now for blood oxygen, you want to be up in a high saturation level, probably 95% or higher, and maintain that as best you can. With the concern over coronavirus and other respiratory diseases, it's good to have something that can monitor your blood oxygen. Here we go. Mine's coming in. Even though I'm talking a lot right now, I'm well above 95. And you see the chart is starting to grow on here as well, as it puts a data point up there for this particular reading, 98%. It got a max and a minimum before it locked in on the final value. Then you've got blood pressure as well, and blood pressure is the hardest one to really get our arms around as to accuracy. Generally, because it's relying on a diode to read the change in blood moving through your capillaries, it uses an algorithm, as all of these do, to try to compute as best it can your blood pressure. The more sophisticated ones that seem to hone in a little bit more accurately on your true number have a place where you can put in your baseline, what you get with a cuff, and then it will help to determine if you're a little higher or a little lower than that baseline value when it does the measurement. I don't see that on this one, so you're getting it based on 120/80 as the standard. So if your offset is 10 points or something, you just simply add or subtract that from the value to get closer to what you truly are. Here's the reading it came back with, 122/77. Reasonable. Not too sure for me if that would be where I'm at right now. I don't have any sleep time data on here, but you can see it would give you deep, light, and awake time. No REM sleeping or any of that, but you probably get a chart showing you the times of the night when you were going through all of that stuff. Basic health information here, your overall device information here, and your specific profile information here. We've covered all that in the app now. We've taken a look at everything that you've got on the watch itself, all of the different features in it. Calling and music we haven't covered yet. So if you have an audio source playing on your phone like I do, news, or if you have music or whatever, you have that set up so that it's playing. You have it Bluetooth tethered to your watch, and you come down here and press the button. So if you want to listen to it, you press play, it starts playing, and it comes out of the speaker here. Can you hear? If I want to skip to the next source,
NPR News now at 4 p.m. today.
And you have volume control right here that you can set the volume. Probably you're going to be wanting it all the way up to full, and most likely you'll have wireless headphones or earbuds connected to the watch so that you can listen to it that way. To switch to playing the actual music on the watch, first you got to put some music on the watch, right? So you're going to use the wire, you're going to attach it, and you're going to plug it into your computer, Mac or PC, and it'll mount as a hard drive there. Then just simply drag over your MP3 files that you want on the watch. It's a small amount of memory, not a whole lot on here, so you'll have to be selective and change your music out periodically. But it does actually do it. So music app or press the button, you're there to switch from the Bluetooth connection to the music, all the music that you could ever want on your phone to be playing through the watch or your earbuds tethered to the watch or to your phone, that you'd use this one. But if you touch it, you'll switch over, he says. There you go. You get that funny little symbol, and now we're on the music in the watch. And it comes with 3 different songs in here. Here's one of them. Now that's a lot louder than we were getting with the news playing from the phone. I think you're going to end up having pretty decent sound from it after all. It's just a matter of tweaking the volumes between everything, because that sounded pretty decent. Anyway, you tap it again, and you're with the headphones. So if you have your earbuds connected to it, now it will transfer the sound from the speaker in the watch to your TWS set. Yeah, pretty nice. All right. One more thing, I wanted to show you what last night's sleep time looked like on this watch in particular, because it's captured better than my much more expensive devices, the actual sleep time. Here it is. You can see I've got a little bit of a chart and some summary. I can click on different aspects of it, and when I click on that white part, I was awake from 4:05 to 5:06. Yes, that's the inauguration of the new president of the United States in my time zone. I had to get up in the middle of the night to watch that happen. If I go into the whole thing, you see it's exploded a little bit more, and again, you have access to all of these with the exact time. Now contrast that with the Fitbit Sense. Here is last night's sleep time with the Sense. Very similar. I can come over here and show you my awake times, but it had me sleeping partway through the inauguration, which is kind of strange. 3:56 to 4:12 I was awake. awake again, 4:24. It's just odd the way it's displaying it, but nonetheless it's there. Here you can show your REM sleep, your light sleep, and your deep sleep scores, or all of them together. So a nice presentation on this one, but I really was awake during that entire time. You can contrast that with HealthMate. Now, HealthMate is the mat, the Withings mat that's under the bed, and it's showing what my last night's sleep time looked like, and that's this white or black area right here with kind of a shaded bump, and 4:08 to 4:18 it's saying I was awake. Light sleep from 4:18 to 5:11. It's not quite catching it right, but it's on here as well. And then the last thing I wanted to show you was the real expensive Oura ring. This one, $300 ring. This is last night's sleep time. Shows awake periods and movement as well. When I was moving, the bigger being the bigger movement, and I was definitely up and about in that early morning time. Well, this jumps to another thing where it's showing your overall daily sleep. So I'm not able to really dive into it like the other ones, but I can show you things like resting heart rate and stuff like that as well, and overall information on the quality of the whole sleep. But it kind of did miss a little bit of the cycle as well. So once again, this simple little watch, this simple little band with the DreeFit app is giving me the best representation of my awake period, light sleep, deep sleep. It tends to group things together and not look at every single minute, and says that, yeah, I was awake a good portion of the time, which was all the time, between 4:05 and 5:06. How does it all look on the watch? Well, I wanted to show you some of the data on the watch. When you scroll down, you got your step count information. Of course, now I got some data. There's the sleep information, but I don't get anything more than just the summary. And here, after I've done a little bit of heart rate and blood pressure and blood oxygen readings, you see how they accumulate in here. And you just simply land on one of these screens and it immediately starts taking the reading. Or as you saw before, we could initiate it directly from the app. So where do you get this thing now that you're all excited about it? You remember it was at the very beginning. You can get it directly off of Amazon, Amazon.com. And I got a link in the show notes for you. And I might have a good coupon for you as well. Right now there's a little coupon for 5% off by buying it. And if you use the link in the show notes, that helps us get credit, and they know you watched the review. So be sure you click on that one if you don't mind, and put it in your cart, check it out, and you'll get yourself this T30. Really nice, very attractive smartwatch, IP67, comes with a couple of bands, a variety of watch faces, lots of controls, calling, which I haven't really tried it yet, but it basically the same as hearing the sounds coming from the music. You'd have the two-way calling conversation. And, of course, music and step counts and sleep time and heart rate and blood pressure, all those goodies are on it as well. Alrighty, check it out. It's the T30, and we will see you again soon. Thanks for being here.